Right. So anyway, what was it? So you crammed in a load of Malphite games. 1, 2, 3. Alright, you've got about 7. No, you got 9 games in on Malphite. A few Nasus games, some Fiora games. Cool. So obviously, because when like we haven't watched back the game, so I don't know exactly how you played on Malphite in the game. Is it just does he not? Well, what? Obviously, because you're a Fiora player, you're more of a split push player. But were you just not comfortable with Malphite as a champion, or? Hmm, that's fair enough. Because like if you, yeah, because I think the thing is that you can kind of tell by your CS and like your KDA, like you're dying a lot on Malphite, which is supposed to be it. Like, it's a champion. Once you get one item, you basically can't really die. So maybe it's just easier if you focus on your fundamentals by either using Fiora or Nasus, depending on what you feel more comfortable with. I mean, personally, because I'm a Nasus, like I used to be a Nasus one trick before Darius, so like I recommend that. Like some people think that Nasus isn't a great champion to learn from because like you need to learn how to trade in lane, but then obviously Nasus uses his time, he uses his resources on mana for his Q. So he doesn't actually have like a main trading ability unless you go like AP Nasus or something like that, like Emax Nasus. But I think the thing is that if you want to learn how to farm effectively and how to manipulate minion waves and how to set up freezes and how to set up slow pushes and how to just like like if there's one champion that teaches you like patience and like what matchups you can and can't win, when exactly you can win them, what items, like how many stacks, it's definitely Nasus. Like a lot of people recommend Garen and Darius and stuff, and I still think those are good champions. They're good for learning how to trade and when to trade and stuff like that. But like as far as hardcore farming and like how to farm, how to like basically win through CSing, not necessarily for kills. And like I've 1v9 so many games on Nasus where they were almost impossible to win. Like Nasus is if I'm not playing Darius, Nasus is the kind of champion that I will just like I can just take into. I've had some like games, any game below diamond where I've had 2 people go AFK on my team, but it just doesn't matter because I'll just go into a side lane and win the game anyway. Mm. Yeah, yeah. But like obviously judging from your CS and your KDA, like obviously deaths are too high, CS isn't high enough. Mm. Do you have Nasus on your EU West account? Cool. I think what we'll do for now is we'll bin like cause I don't know if you saw, but like tank item got nerfed anyway, which probably means they're probably still gonna start fixing up tanks. And I've said this to people anyway that I think Nasus is gonna become like well, he's gonna potentially become S tier just because apart from Camille and like a couple other champions, like Nasus is one of the best counter pick champions at the moment. Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah, like if you're in the draft and you're fourth or fifth pick, then he's probably like one of the best champions. Well, like I see you're running like Grasp Inspiration. Like if you check u.gg, Grasp's still okay, and it's good like one of it's good for like early trades. But there's some matchups where you just don't want to walk up and proc Grasp. You just can't really. Like or like there's just not much efficiency to be gained from it. So like, what was it? You can either run. I mean, the builds I've run is Unsealed Spellbook, and you can actually still run Conqueror, but you have to run like a certain build. And so, see if I've got it in. It's not in this one. So let me just share screen. Is that good? You can't see? Yeah. I'm sorry. Any better? I'm sorry. Man, I need to saw that at some point, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't think we'll really focus on items and stuff like that for now. I think if we just jump into a 1v1 for now, and let's see how you play Nasus. Yeah, you can just go that as a default for now. I just want to pick stuff that you're probably going to be playing against at the moment. Nasus. Yeah. Yeah, just grab Triforce and Frozen Heart and away he goes. Yeah, and that's fair enough. Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to play into Darius, to be fair. Like people are like the first thing people do is like he's S tier at the moment, granted, and he's been S tier for a while, and I still think he needs a nerf, but like he's not unplayable. Like yeah, like you can play into him. You just need to know how to play the matchup. Like his Q range, his E range, his cooldowns, the fact that once he uses apprehend, like there's like a 20, it's like a 22, 23 second cooldown. No, it's fine. I can't hear you. Wiggling. Oh, I mean, most of the time you want to wiggle to try and bait out abilities. I mean, you cannot, like, some people think standing still is when you're typing to your jungler, obviously, but there's different mind games you can do. Yeah. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm hard pushing the first couple of waves so that they bounce off your turret at level 3. What this basically means is that your wave will automatically push back to me. So then I can set up a freeze and then run you down in a long lane. Obviously you do this based on where the jungler is. It's fine, dude. Problem you don't really want to E as Nasus unless it's like 1 or 2 minions left. Problem is if you E and there's like a full minion wave there, the full E of the duration will lower like the amount of damage like needed below an auto attack, so then you won't be able to auto them to last hit them. You see how this minion wave now has 3 casters and 1 melee. But like, you can obviously I'll record this video so you can watch it back and see how I played it. But like the minion wave is just gradually stacking up towards me. I mean you don't win trades into me, that's part of the problem there. Yeah. But you'll see the way that I'm like gradually like I'm keeping the caster minion amount just enough where it's pushing to me, but it's not pushing too hard, but then not to the point where it's going to break the freeze. See, I wait for your wither and then I apprehend. Crippling strike then. Alright, get your flash and then just walk back around and freeze the wave again. You don't ever really want to do that into a Darius lane. And then the wave's still frozen, so just go back to the wave again and you don't have TP or flash. But the thing is, the good thing about that trade is you see that that caster minion just bounced into my turret, so it's actually broken the freeze. But because you don't have TP, like I'm gonna look to hard shunt it, so that it bounces off your turret and pushes back into me again. Ah, see, it's not gonna do it, so I have to just take a reset. See, the wave's in a perfect spot for you at the moment. What you want to do is you want to walk down. You want to drag the minion wave away from your turret. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you want to have it three to four casters. The the closer the minion wave gets to your turret, the bigger it has to be. All right, so now the wave's pushed into you. It's gonna fix it for me. Again, you don't wanna E the minion wave because it really chunks your mana pool, and it means you can't last hit the minions. So what you wanna like, obviously it sounds a bit odd, but what you wanna do to get the minion wave to push back to you is you want me to get you to try and auto you once, because then the minions will aggro onto you. So like say for instance, stand there a sec. Say for instance I just walk up. Yeah, so like if I like you walk up and I just go like that, see how like the minions aggro onto me? That means that the time that they spend attacking me isn't spent attacking my minion wave, which means that like it gradually starts fixing the minion wave for you. But obviously, because I still have like a caster deficit, it's still gonna push to me anyway. And like Darius is one of those champions where you don't want like Fiora or something like that. It's fine to take auto attacks from, but Darius isn't because obviously you can just win an extended trade off of it. Yeah, I think you probably survive it. Yeah, but the minion wave's pushing into you and you can't really catch it. Obviously, this isn't taking into account like jungle intervention or anything like that. You know. So you know how the minion wave's going to push back out to me because if you see it like it's slightly on your side of the map, which means your minions are going to arrive to it sooner. Yeah, you have to basically you have to hard push it before I get back. Yeah. You can't walk up if you don't have Wither. Nice. Yeah, yeah. Again, getting used to XP range is good as well. So like every time I'm going back to last hit one of my minions, I walk up to zone you away from one of yours. Ooh. Yeah. Skin of your teeth. I've yeah, you can. I mean, what you actually do as Nasus is you win the mid game against Darius. Like you don't win early or late. Like Darius actually unironically outscales you again as Nasus because there's a point where Darius becomes tanky enough to survive your Q damage. So when Darius hits when Nasus hits 1 to 2 items, he can kill Darius, and then like 3 to 4 he can still do it. But then like Darius after like 4 or 5 items can, as long as like he builds tank items and a bit of armor, he can kill the Nasus. Nasus can still turn around and kill him, but like it obviously depends on how they play the matchup more than anything. Right, so you can see this wave's gonna push to you. So what I'm gonna do is slow push it into you. So like I'm last hitting minions rather than full clearing the wave quickly. So that like a huge minion wave crashes into your turret, and then I walk at you to zone you away from it, so you can't freeze. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, like if you manage to if you go even with a Darius player on CS as Nasus, then either he's really shit or you're playing like a god. Most of the time it's because the guy doesn't know how to play Darius. Like he doesn't try and zone you from CS or anything. Yeah, that's fair enough, dude. Yeah, it's always good to practice these matchups. Because like I'm not playing as aggressive as I could be. Like you'll find Darius players that'll play a lot more aggressive, but I'm playing a lot more controlled. Like I'm making sure I maximize as much CS as I can while giving you. It's better that you go through this in 1v1s than in a solo queue. Right, so you see the way that your turret's on low HP, or this turret's on low HP. What a lot of top laners would do is they'll just rush the turret down. Yeah, just keep it alive so it kills their minions. Plus also it means the laning phase lasts longer for you. Right, so now this is... Yeah. So what did I say, dude? Yeah. No, I wanted to go over like a couple more things. So basically, uh, if you're really struggling, say for instance, if you're getting camped the shit out of by the jungler, or the enemy top lane is bullying you, what you can do is like you know how I was freezing outside my tier 1? You can freeze the wave outside your tier 2. If you drag the wave, you can basically set up like a permanent freeze. And that basically that will allow you to get back into the game. Well, yeah. Like there's some lanes you can't do it against, but say for instance, the reason why freezing at the tier 2 is good is because it basically almost forces your jungler or your team to come and gank. Like, cause I'm so far up at the moment. Obviously, I'm here at like the halfway mark, way past halfway mark. Like I'm in a really good spot to be ganked. Do you have Darius, by the way? Cool. Right, let's swap and play the reverse matchup. Cool. Yeah, I left you. Let's play the reverse matchup. Sits there in a bush waiting. Just DCs and kills him as he's walking back. Alright, so a bit of feedback, just so you know, specifically for the Darius matchup. Normally, Grasp is good into Darius because, as you probably notice, if I auto attack you and my passive is on you, it will permanently keep Grasp up for you. So you don't have to auto minions to keep Grasp up. So passive keeps Grasp proc up. The other thing is as well is I saw you had bone plating in like second wind is a lot better into Darius. Just because obviously you can basically heal off my passive. And so I'm just creating a custom. On what? On Darius, what you want to do is run Conqueror, Triumph, Legend Tenacity, Last Stand. Did you get my invite? Yeah, Last Stand. And then, like, for you, the thing is, if somebody hasn't played Darius before, I normally recommend Resolve. But if you're confident, then you can run Sorcery, Nimbus Cloak Celerity. Oh, what the fuck? One sec, some random Celerity. It's the movement speed one. Jumping quick. I've got like random hobos are coming in. Cool. That's always handy. Yeah, so basically it's so it's Conqueror, Triumph, Legend Tenacity, Last Stand, Nimbus Cloak Celerity, and you can either run because obviously Nasus has Wither, which is like an anti-attack speed steroid. So you can either run double adaptive of armor, just because if your attack speed's going to be nothing, there's no point in taking attack speed, or you take attack speed to compensate for the fact that the Wither's going to hit you. It. I know. I prefer taking attacks. I prefer taking double adaptive or adaptive double armor. Or if you're playing against an AD top and an AP jungle, you can go armor, magic resistant, adaptive. But into lanes that you know you're gonna bully or you're gonna go aggressive, you can go double adaptive. Yeah, that's fair enough, dude. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Situational runes and items can be really clutch, but nothing beats hard fundamentals. Like say like just like farming, how to trade, just that kind of thing. Nah, it feels really weird playing Nasus without a skin, considering I've got Battlecast Nasus on my main account. I've actually got all the skins on my main. It's like if you don't, yeah. Most of them I got through shards and stuff. I bought when I started playing League. I bought Infernal Nasus just because it's such a good skin. But I haven't spent money on League in ages. I think the first time was obviously to get the mecha skins. No. You either start you start Doran's Blade if you're very comfortable with the matchup and you know you're just gonna like shit on me pre-6, or you just take Doran's Shield, just in case they've got like a really aggressive jungler, or you're not confident in killing me. You don't want to start E on Darius. You never want to level 1 E Darius. It's either 90% of the time it's W and 10% of the time it's Q. Like Q, you only want to take if you're confident in wave clearing, and then you last hitting them properly. If not, just go crippling strike. It's just an auto attack reset that gives you back mana. Yeah, trying to trade with me level 1 won't really do anything. Like you might be able to get a decent chunk of damage off, but if I have like any brains, I'm not gonna walk into melee range of a Darius willingly, you know. Oop, whoop, whoop. See how when I eat, I prep the minions beforehand, so that when I eat, they're all on good threshold to last it. So even though I took a Q from there because I'm running second wind door and shield, I basically heal it back up, and you took a turret shot for that. So rather than potting now, because I knew I could survive the burst, I'm letting second wind heal me up. And then now I pot. But the thing is it's not gonna push out to you. So you might as well try and push into my turret and to reset. Because you don't really have kill pressure on me now because you don't have ghost. Gore drinker. Yeah, like you did. You see how I'm prepping minions before they even come under turret. And like I try and hit the maximum amount of minions if I'm trying to wave clear with my E. Yeah. Well, I've suffered into plenty of lanes as Nasus, so like I've played hundreds of games of him obviously, so I know like even if the items and runes change, I still know the ins and outs and fundamentals of the lane. So the main thing I want to do as the Nasus, if I'm playing into you obviously, is to burn your ghost for free. Because once your ghost is down, as long as I wither you, you can't really kill me. See, because the minions are attacking you, I end up winning that trade. Fine, dude. That's why you play these. So you don't want to queue there because like now your main trading ability is down. Yeah, that's the problem. Is if you use your abilities on the wave, then you don't have them for trading. Yeah, so from this point for the next 20-30 minutes, like if a Nasus gets ahead in lane against Darius, Darius can't do anything until he's completed 2 to 3 items. Like the way you beat Nasus is you need anti-heal, lifesteal, and tankiness. Mm. Whereas what? Yeah, yeah. As Darius, you need to be the proactive one. If you don't do anything, like Nasus can win. But the thing is there's still, as long as you go like armor shred Nasus, Darius, you can still win mid game. You see how my item set differs from yours. Attacks, because you built attack speed when you were playing Nasus. Unless you're going Conqueror Nasus to stack up Conqueror, attack speed is kind of meh on Nasus. So you just queued. So now you don't have a way to trade. And then obviously like I just push the like in this lane as well. Like if you're playing against Tryndamere, Fiora, stuff like that as Nasus, you want to max W normally. But into Darius, you want to max E for armor shred. So you can have different ability leveling as well. And like you see the way like I could stay a bit longer and potentially get another plate, but I want to get a good reset off so that I'm back in lane by the time you get there. So if I'd have stayed for those for a second plate, I wouldn't have caught this minion wave. It's basically as Nasus, you're just waiting for Darius to either like blindly queue forward like that. So you can get a good Q trade in and back off. Yeah, your passive, unless you get, this is the point where unless you get more than 3 stacks of your passive will heal me. Now you don't really want to start trades off with Darius's Q because you're running last stand and like the heal heals you based on missing HP. So if you just Q on full HP, you're using it as a damage ability and not as a healing ability. But this is how much I like, even though I don't play Fiora, I don't play Tryndamere, I don't play Quinn and stuff like that. Like all these top laners, I still know like the ins and outs of each matchup corresponding with another champion. Yeah, we'll swap back and I'll play the Darius side of it. Yeah, we can just leave now. But yeah, like you can see like just by using fundamentals and like how I position the minion wave, my backing times, like like how I trade my abilities into you, like how I know when to and when not to fight you, like how fundamentals can just win you laning phase. Mm. Yeah, controlled aggression, especially for top lane, is key. I've had it. What's what I say, dude? Yeah, you play the Nessus side of it now. So just take in what you've experienced and like how I played, where I stood, like the fact that I only E'd under turret when I knew I could get the last hits. I didn't just East the minion wave straight away. Like the whole rule with casters, you wait one auto, you wait one tower shot, and you auto them once so that they're ready to be last hit. Melees can be hit by 2 tower shots, and then you just auto attack them once. You know those kind of rules. Cool, that's fine. No. Second wind and flinching. It's really good against my apprehend and crippling strike. No, you take this ability haste. So you take CDR and then double armor. Well, the good thing about this, dude, is that like if you can hold your own against me, you're gonna hold your own against anybody in EUNE, at least up to masters. So just look at it that way. If you can improve your laning phase against me, you'll be able to beat 90%, 95% of your competition. Yeah, like the way when I started playing League is I didn't understand matchups at all and stuff like that. So I had like I was bronze at the time, and I asked a couple of my diamond friends to do constant 1v1s with me. So like the matchups like I really sucked at. So like I don't know if you ever played with point and click Pantheon when he had like a point and click W, point and click Q. Yeah. I played into that. I played into Fiora. I played into like the worst matchups, and I played something like 100, 200 1v1s, and I only won like 3 or 4 of them. But it then meant that I understood the matchup inside out and how to play Darius. So like sometimes 1v1s can be better than solo queue. Obviously, the thing is that people go, oh yeah, just hard, just bash out as many games as you can, and it's like for some people it really works because it's like on hand experience, but whereas others it actually just frustrates them more because they're more focused on the climbing than the learning part. Mm, yeah. Well, that's the thing is I tell most of my students I'm high diamond, but I'm not mechanically gifted. I don't play Irelia or Zed or any of these like high skill cap champions, and I still maintain high diamond just through core fundamentals. And like, do you see how I'm with Darius? Like, obviously you can remember this when you do your matchup. Like how I'm autoing while I'm queuing. Well, like you saw like I got 4 stacks on you almost instantly. Yeah, that's like obviously that's from like playing a lot of Darius, but you can basically weave an auto attack inside of your queue almost. Mm. No, again, Darius is just like if you can get the core elements down. The cannon, no. And I also made sure to auto all the casters with my fully stacked passive, so then the wave pushes in perfectly for me. Because the problem is, if I'd just killed you, then I'd have had a huge minion wave that I couldn't do anything about because I don't have teleport, and then you'd come back with an item advantage. I think the thing is, it's not Fiora's still good, just so you know. Like it's just there's just more broken shit in the game. And the thing is that from what I've watched, you need to sort your fundamentals out before you play anything with any real mechanics. Like you need to sort out wave management, wave manipulation, slow pushing, fast pushing, trading, like how abilities interact with each other in the lane. And see how the way I use my fully stacked passive on the minion wave to clear it as quickly as possible. And like I could greed for a plate, but then that means I don't reset because you have to visualize. Like obviously my recall takes, yeah, my recall takes like 8 seconds. One sec. And items. So I want to make sure it's more important that I'm back before you push the minion wave into my turret than for me to get a plate. Because no, I mean, yeah, the thing is, if you can't fast push it because I'm already going to get back before the wave gets there. So the only thing you can do is get as much farm as you can from that wave and build up a giant minion wave to defend you when I attack you. Just basically like building up your little own personal army. There's some champions, obviously, this doesn't work against, like Irelia, because some genius thought of giving her resets on minions, but, you know. You see the way I'm stacking up my passive on all the minions, so that when I go to Q them, they all die instantly from a trade. And the other thing is rather than hard shunting this minions, I'm waiting for my apprehend cooldown to come off. So what I was doing there is literally just to force you out of lane so I can get a good reset off, because I don't have flash or ghost up, so I'm not going to be able to really kill you anyway under your own turret. But it just means that I get a plate and I negate you from this cannon minion wave. Sometimes Darius's will literally just ult only when you're on low HP. They won't ult necessarily like either to force you out of lane or just to get the ult off anyway. Sometimes just the ult itself can threaten you away. Oh no, dude. When I was bronze, silver, gold, and even plat, 1v1s were really good for me. But now, because I'm in an elo where I play against people that know what they're doing, like obviously you get the occasional like either boosted player or like botted account or something. But now I'm in an elo where the majority of the player base is good. So the only way I'd get better is playing against like GM master top laners. So I'd have to get like I'd either have to pay for coaching and stuff like that. I meant as in for somebody who's like say for instance you're in the general player base. So it would be good for somebody like you if you don't necessarily enjoy solo queue. You see the way that every time I get a chance I'm autoing casters, so that when I go to attack you, I will look to queue you and queue the caster wave to clear the minion wave so that you don't have any assistance from minions. I mean, I learned it from doing 1v1s and literally just playing lots and lots of games. But you can do it just from like watching in 1v1s. Like, so I got the wither out from you. And the other thing is you can track where my minion wave is going to be based obviously on your minion wave. Rip. Cannon, no! Mm. Mm. I mean, you can try CS drills. Obviously, these kind of games help you because, like, if you can farm into lanes with me, like, you should be able to farm into most lanes. You know. No, I think yeah. I think as Nasus you need to learn the art of patience. That like as like pre-6 Nasus loses most matchups. No. I mean the wave actually if you play it, if you look at it, it's slow pushing to you. Yeah. Yeah, into lanes that you know you're going to win. Rushing boots is always good because movement speed is key. Because movement speed basically dictates who's going to win the trade, or like who's gonna initiate the trade and who's going to be able to get away from the trade. So like a lot of the time as Darius, I'll rush tier twos into something like a Teemo or a Quinn. So like Tabbies into Quinn, Mercs into Teemo, because I know that as long as I can get on the champion, I can kill them. Because that wave pushed cleanly into you now, it's going to push back to me. And you'll see like what I'm doing with the minions is rather than so say for instance I have like 129 I have 100 yeah I do have 129 AD. Rather than hitting the minions on like half HP like that, I wait until they're like as low HP as possible so they're alive longer to keep the minion wave where it is. Obviously that's another trick you can do as Darius is that if you don't want somebody to last hit a minion or something, you can just E them to CC them on the turret and it doesn't aggro. That's only if you want them to miss a cannon or something. But you see, like, even though like I'm too like I have to be proactive in this lane because otherwise you will just get to that point. Yeah, so this is a good opportunity for you to freeze. But yeah, this is the thing I was going back to before. You've gone you've gone that Hearthbound Axe, which gives you 15 AD and 15% attack speed. Like that doesn't really do anything for Nasus. Yeah, you should go Bramble Vest, try and rush Tabbies, you know, or like even frozen, even going frozen heart components. Obviously, this game is taking into account that there's no jungle pressure either. If there was jungle pressure, I would set up slow pushes and then get them to constantly tower dive you. Yeah. By the way, have you used any of your unsealed spellbook? Um, you don't know what unsealed spellbook does? Basically allows you to change your summoner. I mean, like, if say for instance in this, you could have Ghost Ignite and you could kill me. Or like earlier into the lane, you could have swapped out the barrier so that you don't die like level 6 or something. And you can also switch to, like, normally I run, if I'm playing into Darius, I run heal barrier sometimes, depending on the jungle matchup as well, and if I'm going to get tower dived, so that they basically can't kill me pre-6. Ripperino. Do you wanna swap the swap the matchup again? Cool. Right, I'm gonna exit. I'm just thinking. One sec, let me see if I've got Fiora. One sec. I think you're a good candidate for playing Nessus. You just need to work on your farming, a bit of your itemization, wave management, and trading. Yeah, for sure. You can just auto win. So let me see what champions I got. So what, you want to play your Fiora into my Darius? Okay, yeah, we can do that then. I recommend Conquer on Fiora. It can be pretty nutty once you get it stacked up, but yeah, it can be a bit meh in lane. What do I normally do? No, this is actually the thing is that like for the org, I've recorded a lot, but there's some I haven't recorded. But most of the ones I don't record, I actually do 1v1s, but the ones I do record, I do Like I go over itemization, runes, like all that kind of stuff in my first session, and then I spectate one of their games and then point out exactly where, what they're doing and that kind of thing. But I feel for you, because I've like there are some times where it's either their mid game or it's their rotations or something like that. But for you, it's literally just fundamentals. I mean, personally, I go Blade as Fiora into Darius just because I'm comfortable with the matchup. But I also it depends on the jungler's matchup as well. Because if the jungler's like an Elise or something like that, you want to stay healthy so you don't get tower dived. So I go shield into that in that instance. I mean, you can get some. You can actually like I've been killed by Fiora's level 3, level 4 as Darius. It's doable. Yeah, you either have to W my apprehend, or the easier one is Wing my Q, so it just stops the heal trade. Like it can be a Fiora favored matchup, but obviously if the Fiora scuffs W, then it isn't really. Yeah, I mean I can buy Fiora after this and I'll play Fiora into you. Like I'm not a Fiora god, but I'll show you like what I've learnt from matchups and how to do it. So that's a 20-second cooldown. Yeah, so you can't really walk up. I know you can't because I know I basically like mentally picture a timer in my head. Oh yeah, you can definitely win trades. I mean, I played that like a dog as well. To be fair, one sec. But yeah, we'll play it anyway. Yeah, that's the only problem. Obviously, that's the problem with pre Tiamat Fiora. She doesn't really have any wave clear. Yeah, it was close. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you can time apprehend as Fiora, like the lane is actually broken. Because obviously it gives you a free stun It stops you. It stops Darius from getting any type of gap close. I mean, I think Gore Drink is pretty good, but I've seen Gore Drinker, Divine. Oh yeah, Phage. Yeah, and you can build that into Divine Sunder and Gore Drinker. I haven't seen Triforce Fiora for a bit. I mean, I've seen Ravenous Triforce, but I just don't think it's as good. I just don't know. I haven't played that much Fiora, to be fair. Yes, obviously I have to sit back and chill because you're 6. Hmm. That's your bone plating down. Yeah, obviously this lane's a lot more. This lane's a lot more volatile. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. You can. Yeah, you can go tabbies into this lane. I mean, I've actually seen some Fioras go Merc Treads just because they want to negate Crippling Strike and Apprehend, but then the problem is obviously then Darius can just beat you to death with auto attack, so it's kind of up in the air. Basically, the way Darius wins this lane is that I don't necessarily have to build that much damage. I just have to survive your burst. Yeah. Or like obviously the ultimate thing is to W my R, but like if I just hold my R, you're just going to be wasting time with your W cooldown. Because I know you don't have any wave clear. I'm just going to stack up a massive wave. And then get a really good reset off. I had to chunk you a bit. Thing is, I've just got to wait for my append cooldown to come back up. Oh, nice. Yeah, and you miss out on this massive wave. But yeah, you're playing pretty well though. I mean, it is Fiora favored somewhat. But like once Darius gets tanky enough to survive, like basically it's about like the fact that as long as you have to kill me before I can get my second rotation of my Q up. Like my second Q comes off cooldown. So basically, like it's on a obviously once you buy CDR it becomes annoying, but I've got my Q's on a 5-second cooldown or 4.5. So obviously at like level 1 it's a lot lower. So there's time, like within 7 to 8 seconds you can kill me. Whereas obviously as the cooldown of my Q goes down and the tankier I become, the more chance I have of getting it up again rather than you having your W up to counter it. I mean, that's just cause I know I'm gonna freeze it anyway. It's good sometimes to hard push, but sometimes it can kill you. Nice try, Chief. I mean, the thing is as well as you've probably noticed from playing League is that abilities have certain like telltale signs, like wind up times. So like when Darius is gonna E, he crouches down and sort of like moves his shoulders down, and you can obviously like you need to predict it as well. But like there's a split second when you can see he's gonna E. Like it's very faint, obviously, and obviously there's the same thing with Darius R's. He like is you can hear him and you see him like taken off from the ground. Yeah, you need really good reflexes for that. Obviously, the Q is the easiest thing to W's Fiora. Like, and it Q in pre-6 will win you most trades, but then like there's certain points in the game where you need to W, E, or Alt to win the trade. I don't have Alt up yet, so now you don't have W on the turret. The other thing is you can't really fight me there because if you'd have looked at my items, I have a completed item, you don't. So I hit like a really hard power spike. So until you get your core item, like you shouldn't try and fight me like that. Mm. It's normally off of power spike, so say for instance Sheen. Fairs, dude. That's why we're here. Yeah, not unlucky, dude. Mate, it's like that meme. It's like they got me in the first half. Do you want me to buy Fiora and play the reverse matchup of it, or do you want to go back to Nessus? Yeah, yeah, no, I'm not gonna, mate. I'm not spending money on League. Yeah, I'll just get her through Blue Essence. Yeah, yeah. Right, one sec. I'll just get Fiora. I put I put FI. One sec. I put FI and I got this. Just a bit of fun. Right, I'll host. Like what you want to do, like obviously you can parry my Q, but ultimately what you want to do is Fiora. Actually, I mean you'll see it, but I'll do it. Is Q inside my Q? Mm. Yeah. I mean, I prefer going Resolve into Fiora. You can go Sorcery, but I feel like Fiora, if you go Sorcery, you just don't have any like early game. Like Fiora's not one of the kind of champions you can run down. No, she's. No, I'm flinching. Oh yeah, yeah, go Ghost. That's just the standard rune, standard setup for Darius at the moment. I mean, I sometimes change it up, but that's just because I play in like challenger mode and competitive and stuff like that. So you can't always just run Ghost in top. You need to run TP sometimes. Sometimes I run Phase Rush with TP or Conqueror. Oh yeah, no, I can't play. I can't play that much solo queue without. Oh, yeah, no, I took a couple months break. I went on holiday to Italy. Like I have taken breaks, but the thing is as long as you understand the fundamentals, they're not like items and runes can change, but as long as you still understand the core concepts on a champion, it doesn't really matter. No, I wouldn't use Ghost there. It's fine, dude. Yeah, Darius is kind of clunky, especially base skin. Yeah, that's the problem. Is like taking Ghost on Darius is high risk, high reward. Because if you get camped or bullied out of lane for whatever reason, you don't have TP, so your minion wave's kind of scuffed. Ah, level up. No. Ah, rip. My bad. I griefed. Ooh, nice, the minion wave. Yes. It's not too bad for you because I miss all those minions. I mean, I go Tabby's Bramble into Fiora because that's the main way you beat her is just fuck her healing. No, it's like steel boots or something like that. Very creative, Riot. Good job. Pretty sure yeah, I just don't win. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I played that badly anyway. I should have tried to pull you more to the left before trying to get that vital. But yeah, like the R and the Q are the easiest abilities to telegraph as if you're gonna W. But the problem is obviously if you try and go for the R, like you're probably at a threshold where even if he doesn't R you, he can just Q you afterwards anyway. I'm in danger. Alright, I take that. No cannon minion for you. And I got R. Nice. Oh wait, I think that scuffs the wave as well. Nice. Let's go. Nice. I got the ghost out here. After 7 or 8 E's, he's finally W and E. Oh, I had flash up as well. I was looking. It wasn't a bad flash, but problem is with this, obviously, because you're not running TP. Like Ghost is basically like if you're not winning lane, then it kind of fucks you over, you know. I know that you've completed Triforce. I don't have an item yet, so it's probably not in my best interest to fight you. Come on, minion wave, work with me. Well, yeah, you'll definitely learn the ins and outs of the matchups. Let's put it that way. Hmm. Well, yeah. One sec. So what you want to explore more in depth, like minion wave management and stuff like that. Yeah, see, like if you drag the minion wave, you've got caster advantage there. You can just keep the minion wave there permanently. So say for instance, if you keep the minion wave there, the way you would come back is obviously you just keep farming, getting your levels back. And if I ever come to break the freeze, your jungler is like a lot closer and will be in the vicinity to help you. Why did you arm me with no stacks? Did you just panic? That's fair enough, dude. Right, anyway, let's exit. There's nothing gonna be learnt from this. Right. So, one sec. Because I want to share screen so I can show you, but for some reason I don't know why. I don't know why if it's just you or if it's bugged. Hmm, strange. But basically, like, I'll send you the notes afterwards anyway, and like an overall goal. But I think even though Nasus doesn't necessarily help you with trading, I think it's better for you as a player to play. Like, I could see on Fiora that you've got base like what you call basic mechanics. So you know what you're doing somewhat, but like you don't know why you're doing it. If that makes sense. Like, it's like you know why you're attacking him because you want to kill him, but like what's the deeper meaning behind it? Like, what does killing him get? How does that transition your lead? How does that help you with the minion wave? What does attacking him do to the minion wave? Like, these are like the inner questions within trading. So I think, honestly, I think for now, if you just play a load of Nasus, but try the unsealed spellbook build. I've got a build that I've been running. If I can, so let me just go on my account and I'll screenshot it. It's only because it's more because the items are broken at the moment that I'm using it. Like, if they fix them, then AD Nasus will be more viable. But one second, let me just find it. What's the name of the account? Oh, yeah, it's my own account. Is it on here? Wait, no, it's I could have sworn. One sec. So let me just find this. Ah, okay, here it is. Here it is. Alright, so you can give this build a go, see how you feel about it. I can explain to you why I prefer it to the original Nasus build. So basically, it's a combination of Riftmaker and Lichbane, and then into regular Nasus items. Because obviously, like, there's the Sheen builds into the Sunderer, Triforce, and Lichbane at the moment, right? Yeah. So the thing is Lichbane is just incredibly strong at the moment, and you can still get CDR and stuff from it. Actually, no, you don't get CDR from it, but the active on it is a lot stronger on Lichbane than it is on the other Sheen items. So you can go that along with uh, what was it, the rift maker thing, which basically gives you, after obviously about in 5 seconds in combat, it then allows your abilities to do like 15% true damage. Yeah, yeah. One sec. What do you? I'll just make an item slot thing for you. One sec. Don't know. Maybe I might test out some builds. I might just go and play some Total War or something. Depends. One sec. Alright, let's sort this out. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, playing on your EOS account would be good as well, because then I could see. Because I think trying to. Yeah, yeah. Alright, one sec. Let me just sort this out. Oh, these 1v1s? Yeah, yeah. It's a, yeah, maybe that'll help. If not, try the CSing drill in the resolve uh, chat. They've Well, I think Nasus will force you to become better. Like you have, like the whole identity of that champion is farming. It's not like other champions. It's not like Fiora where you can get away with it, and if you get kills and stuff, you'll still be relevant. If you don't farm on Nasus, you will suck dick. It's not, you can have as many kills as you want. If you don't have stacks and you don't have farm, you won't function as a champion. Mhm. Mm. Yeah, I don't mind doing that as well. Like exactly like where to push the wave to, like when to back and when not to back. Wait, one sec. Alright. Yeah, I mean I can do that. Like if you stream one of your games and I spectate, the only reason why I've not done it like that before, because you can check my YouTube. I'll send you the videos and stuff. But yeah, yeah, like you see, I normally watch people's games that weren't like they weren't a stomp either way. Yeah, yeah. But like how I've done it before is I add them and then I go into their match history and then just replay it. So if you play some games on your EUS account, then we can go through those games because I like to pause. Whereas if you're playing a live game, it's kind of tricky because then like trying to explain exactly where and what you should have done is kind of difficult. I think so. One sec. Let me just finish up on this and then No, I don't have any EUNE account. I was thinking of getting one at some point. I mean, I've got like 4 or 5 EUS accounts, so I probably should do that at some point. Yeah, I've heard some interesting things about EUNE. Yeah. I mean, what was it? I've got a mate that's like hard stuck D4, D3, and he's like, yeah. There's also some very interesting players. I don't know how they did it, but they somehow managed it. Pog. Alright, let's do that. that there. I want to make this half decent, and you can even make your own item set as well if you want. And by the way, this is meta dependent. This is like what I've been running and I've had the most success with at the moment. Like obviously if they nerf this stuff, then can always ask. But obviously this is just what I've found like works really well. If you got any other questions, by the way, feel free to fire away. Hmm. Fair enough, dude. I mean, obviously there's like different streamers and stuff you can watch, like Tut and SRO. I mean, I won't watch him as much though. Like I used to watch him, but then Solar Renekton only. He's kind of a meme now. I wouldn't really like. He, I respected him for a while, and then he brought out the, oh my god, look at this, like the full AP Teemo, full lifesteal Xin Zhao, all that kind of like all those thumbnails. I was like, okay, cool, I'm good. That's not why I started watching the channel for. And he kind of just fell off a cliff a bit. Yeah, just to get your fundamentals sorted. Like not trading fundamentals, but like farming fundamentals. Like you need to understand like how important farming is, sort of thing. One sec. No worries. Just make sure I got them all here. Wait one sec, didn't snippet that one properly. The Rift Maker. Wait, do you want me to explain to you why this build? Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to quickly explain to you why this build is like insane at the moment? Okay. Alright, one sec. Just want to try something. Still nothing. Man, that's so weird because I can see it on mine. One sec. One sec. Strange. Anyway, I'm gonna try that with somebody else and see if it's just that or if it's something else. But yeah, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, long story short, um, it's more because Rift Maker and Lich Bane are broken at the moment. Like they're like insanely good items. So Rift Maker, like its passive, which is like Void Corruption, for each second the champion is in combat deals 3%, and then bonus damage up to maximum 15%. And then at max strength, the bonus damage is dealt as true damage instead. So obviously, as you can imagine, true damage on Nasus that doesn't have any true damage in his kit is kind of nutty. So as long as you can survive long enough in a fight and stack that up, you can pretty much kill anybody as Nasus. I've tried it with Conqueror, I've tried it with Domination, Unsealed. It's pretty good. Lich Bane, obviously, you can build it into from the Sheen component, so it enhances your auto attack. It also means that you do mixed damage rather than just AD, so they can't actually itemize against you as well. So you do like 50-50 almost in some cases. Um, but then it kind of makes you squishy. In a 1v1/1v2, it makes you strong, but you can't really team fight with this build until you either get Spirit Visage, Frozen Heart, or Sterex. Like situational. So say for instance, if like this Conqueror game, you'll see in the match history, it was Malphite top, Amumu jungle, Tarek support. So that's 3 melees, right? Plus Lysandra, she's gonna E in, so she's gonna be in your face most of the time. So the only ranged champion they really have is Kai'Sa. So going full lifesteal, like full vamp, so Conqueror, Taste of Blood, Ravenous Hunter. Obviously this is because I'm like if I was recommending this to you, I'd tell you to take Resolve and second win into Malphite because it's a rough lane. But I know because I played enough Nasus games I can do it. But so that means that like I basically went like full lifesteal Nasus. And I did what was it? I did something like pretty sure let's have a look. Yeah, I did the most damage in the game and I took the most damage in the game. Like even like a Moon and Malphite are broken. Yeah, even though they're both broken, I still did more damage and took more damage than both of them. Yeah, one sec. Yeah. I mean, he's not like the thing is it's like it's the problem is with Nasus is that he always gets this misconception that he's like if you know how to play him and you're insanely good at your fundamentals, you can hard win as Nasus. But if you don't know how to farm properly, if you don't know about wave management, if you don't know how to trade, like how to negate trades, it's not necessarily about trading as Nasus, because as Nasus you kind of past level 6, you kind of just want to take all ins as Nasus. You don't want to, or like apart from Darius, like most lanes you just want to go for all ins. But it's about he's only broken if you're insanely good at your fundamentals. If you're good at fundamentals, he's broken. If you're not, he's kind of meh. You know. One sec. So like I was saying, into that full melee comp, you can run. I'll make a couple for you. So yeah. So if it's like, and so I'll show you. So it's like 4 or 5 melees or something like that. You can take the. Well, it's never going to be 5 melees unless they pick like a melee ADC. You can take that. But if the lane is dangerous or volatile, and there's a chance of you dying in the laning phase, you can run this. But the build I run most of the time, if they've only got like 1 or 2 tanks, say for instance, and you can pretty much one-shot the other ones, if as long as they can't get on you, is this unsealed spell book like that, and then well, that's because it's not a damage rune. It's a utility rune. That's part of the reason why a lot of people don't get on with it. What other ones are there? There's a very situational one that I run sometimes. Yeah. Grasp is good if you're just starting out on him. But if you want to get better results, you need to up your runes a bit. this build is good into Kale. Just so you know, this is like a specific Kale matchup build where it negates her Q, and if she speeds up, you can just run at her with phase rush. Wait, how long has this session been? Oh, 2 hours. Nice. One sec. I I've actually wait, yeah, I've actually got something. I've got some stuff to do, but it's kind of good that we did these sessions because then like I think it's better that you understand like where you need to work on what things need. I'll actually write up a quick note list here on my computer and rather than on my laptop, so then you can look at it on YouTube. Well, I'll send it to you anyway. So fundamentals to work on. So just farming slash last hitting, wave management. So freezing, which you did a bit of, which is like I saw, like you were evolving in the game, which is the important thing. So when we were playing the counter matchups of each one, like if I played Darius into Nasus, you would take the concepts that you'd learnt in the opposite matchup against me. So that's what those 1v1s are good for. Slow pushing, fast pushing, back timers.